This emergency cold weather shelter is opening tonight, but it almost didn't open at all, part of a much bigger problem here in Skagit County. Victoria Gomez has endured 4 Washington winters. She says she never feels more homeless than when it turns bitter cold.
Because you realize that you are at the lowest point you've ever been in your life.
Victoria stays at this day shelter run by Welcome Home Skagit to stay warm when the sun is up, but it closes at night, leaving most with no place to go. For the past few years, an emergency cold weather shelter has been housed at this church, but this year a communications and planning mix-up with its managers meant it couldn't open. That sent chills down Victoria's spine.
Terrifies me. The thought of freezing death, I mean, I could imagine that.
You guys were kind of blindsided by this, right?
We were.
Sarah Vogt runs the day shelter. She says there are only enough beds for about 25% of the homeless people in Skagit County. At last count, there were 533 unsheltered people. That's up 70% from the year before.
The numbers of homelessness is increasing in this area. The housing is not going to be built in time to house all the people that are available, despite the county and the city's efforts to put together vouchers. Housing is not available. And there's nowhere in between, so there needs to be somewhere in between.
Sarah says that in between must be a permanent 24-hour shelter for Skagit County, but that's not up for consideration right now. Instead, county and city leaders are working on a regional approach.
Part of that is looking at the root causes of homelessness, and so how can we address them there before they become anyone that needs to be on the street or needs shelter situations.
And this rack they can grab from any time.
For now, Sarah and her crew at Welcome Home Skagit have stepped up to run the emergency cold weather shelter, but she knows it's only a temporary fix as the cold reality of homelessness sinks in for Victoria.
Really just disheartening, because you start to feel your homelessness. You start to not only to see it, we know we're homeless, but when you can feel it emotionally.
Hopefully our cold weather doesn't last for very long, because this shelter will only be open for 7 days. In Mount Vernon, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.